The PlayStation Drive is starting. While you wait, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon on YouTube to be notified of future goodness. If you enjoy our show, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. To continue the conversation, join the Carpool Gaming Discord, where you can find a wholesome community to have a chit-chat with. For some exclusive content, you can also support us on Patreon. And finally, don't forget to check out the Carpool Gaming website for an awesome range of merch. Links to all that and more are in the show notes, but without further ado, let's get revved up for the PlayStation Drive. Whoa!
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. This is the PlayStation Drive episode 193. I am one of your hosts, Ryan, and I'm joined, as always, by Fulia, Matt, and Ron. How is everyone's Chunday evening or Chonday morning doing today?
Daylight savings hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Continue to eat that breakfast.
Yep.
Hello, ASMR.
No. If my camera goes away, you know why.
Nah, keep it going.
Keep it going. That's right. So people signed up for. Come on, Fulia.
Yep. For folks that don't know, since Fulia is in Australia, their daylight savings time was in fact this weekend. So
we went back an hour.
Yeah. Thank you, Fulia, for adjusting your time to be with us today.
You're welcome.
That's right. Keep that breakfast going.
Yeah. Oh. Now, Matt, Riley King in the chat
Ryan.
chimes in, saying GTA weather. Do we talk
Riley
about
King.
the weather on the show?
Man, every
Riley
time
King, my
GTA
man.
is even mentioned, I think of the game
Yes.
and not Toronto.
It's okay. Think of the game.
What? No. Think of the Greater Toronto Area. No.
That is what that
That's what
stands for.
GTA stands for. That's right. We had that acronym before, Rockstar had it.
Grand
Riley
Theft
King,
Auto.
my man.
It didn't mean anything until
That's
GTA, the real Grand Theft Auto.
No.
That's the real GTA.
No.
No one outside of Canada
It's-
knows what the hell that is.
But people
Riley
in
King,
Toronto
it's...
know.
That's right. Riley King.
But I said the people
it's too
outside
cold.
Toronto.
They'll find. They'll keep up. It's too cold. Ryan, it's too cold. I'm sick. It's
Here we
almost
go.
the second week of April, and I'm still wearing my winter jacket. It's
Wait,
negative
hold on.
1
It's
on
cold
Tuesday.
where you are?
Yes, it's windy, it's cold, it's negative 1 on Tuesday. That's the high in the middle of April. This ain't right.
Yeah.
All right, I want to put away my winter jacket. I want to put away my boots, my toque. It's too much.
We had a couple
It's too
warm
much.
days this week. It was like, plus 20 this week. It was good for a little bit, but yeah, and Kiku chimed
wasn't
in, said it was
enough.
close to 90 degrees here yesterday, which is nice. That's
Well,
some good weather.
like that's nice for you, Kiku, but here in the GTA, it's warm one days, it's too cold the other days. It's too much. I can't stand it anymore. We need spring, right?
Honestly,
I just want to go on a walk.
it feels like living in Calgary in a lot of ways, Matt, because living in Calgary, you had like the Chinook winds, where some days it'd be, warm and other days it'd be cold, like in the same week. And it was just like up and down all the time based on the wind patterns. But of course, the Captain's Gaming blog just chimes in saying Matt just wants to get his guns out. That's really what's behind this.
No, stop it. It's not about that. It's too much, all right? I got one day people are saying like, why are you wearing a winter jacket? And the other days, my wife's yelling at me for wearing a spring jacket. And none of them are wrong. All right? It's true. I cannot figure out what to wear anymore. The weather needs to make up its mind and just be consistent, please, for the love of God. Can't take
For the
it
sake
anymore.
of my allergies, we need some consistency here.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. That was your weather talk for this week.
All right,
Ron,
thank
of
God,
course-
I'm back.
Ron, of course, sensed the weather talk was
Ron,
approaching
please.
its end.
Yeah, I told you, I'm not sticking around for that. We'll dip out.
It's fine.
We
Kiku
can-
filled
we
us
can
in on
cover it
your weather,
again.
so it's all good. It's all good. But anyways, while we were talking about the weather, the whole time I've been hearing a little rapping at my front door. Housekeeping. So, of course, we got new patrons over our patreon.com/carpool gaming, starting with Solo, who joined at the gold member level. So shout out to Solo for getting that gold trophy at the gold member level. And Joshua, or as Joshua put in his name, Yashawa was the pronunciation guide that Joshua provided for his name. So Joshua joined at the exclusive tier show. Shout out to him as well. Of course, we got brand new content over on the Patreon as well, starting with Mitch's Pants episode. It's out right now. You can go listen to it. He talks about things that Mitch talks about. I don't actually know what he talks about yet because I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but you should go check it out. And then Monday, we will have the question post going up for the Lockleth. We'll be doing the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast this week. So if you have questions for the Pitch and Coop, if you have questions for Lockleth, make sure to leave them starting Monday morning over on the old Patreon as well. Also, early access of the mini indie van continues over on Patreon. Of course, please make sure to send all your feedback directly to Fulia because there's a brand new episode. Speaking of the Lockleth, you did an episode with Lockleth this week.
I did.
Right now.
Yeah. It was fun. And we had cozy vibes. So it was good.
Exactly. So make sure to go check out the mini indie van episode 3. And again, make sure to let Fulia know what you think about it because we would love to hear from you and love your feedback. Also, quick note about Patreon. Of course, I mentioned it on last week's show. This continues to be a thing. So we're going to kind of continue to let y'all know that this is a thing until it's no longer a thing. But due to a change over on Patreon, recently Apple decided to add a 30% fee to all Patreon users that sign up via the iOS app. Of course, if you already are a Patreon, you don't have to worry about this at all. But if anyone who's new or anyone who's kind of returning to the Patreon, if you've been away for a while, and if you sign up on the iOS app, they're going to charge you extra money. So if you want a 30% discount, as Sean refers to it as, on the Patreon, just go to your web browser, www.patreon.com/carpoolgaming on your internet browser of choice, whether it's on your phone or your computer or whatever, and sign up for Patreon there and go check us out there. We've also got merch over at carpoolgaming.com, including a PlayStation Drive t-shirt, RPG Cave t-shirt, Xbox Drive or Nintendo Drive t-shirt, as well as all kinds of cool stuff, including the lovely shirt that Fulia was showing off for us. So make sure to go over there and check that out. Well, without further ado, friends, let's grab our 8 tracks, pop them in. It's time for the playlist. Time to talk about the games that we played this week. Start with you, Ron. What'd you play, man?
PlayStation Nation, the nightmare is finally over. I have finished Monster Hunter Wilds. Finally.
Yay!
High rank I got the high rank done.
Well done.
And instantly, as soon as I got that trophy to pop, it was over. I uninstalled. I'm going to pretend that maybe one day Capcom will fix this game. But if not, it's fine. Moved on to other things. So rest in peace. Maybe it'll end up rising like a phoenix. I doubt it. Then there was Goodbye Volcano High. I went back to that for about an hour. And yeah, that's getting abandoned.
Oh no! What happened?
Here's the thing with this. At first, I was having a good time with the game. But then it really started to turn into a high school teen drama show. And the protagonist is probably like the worst kind of friend. My thing is that we get it. You want the band to be your life. And that's fine. But your friends want to do other things. That is a hobby to them. That is not a priority. And the protagonist is just constantly whining about it. And it's just like, when are you going to get the hint that they want to go to college and this just is not a thing for them? Instead of like, let's win the band concert and we can sit there and do this the rest of our lives. You're the only one who's thinking like this. And she just keeps beating it over the head. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I have other games to play. I'm not gonna deal with this. So yeah, that's gone. But Space Marine 2 continues to be outstanding. Just as good
Excellent.
as it was last weekend. We did some operations instead of just the story stuff. Such a great game. Such a great game. So, once again, Space Marine 2 saves the weekend.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yep. Too bad that you had to abandon 2 games this week, but it sounds like Space Marine 2 continues to be fun. So
Yeah.
at least
it happens like that
good guy.
sometimes, but it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Matt, what'd you play, man?
Sometimes it's better to abandon games than pushing through sometimes because you can be very miserable. Because, listen, I wrapped up, I rolled credits on Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. Please believe me. It's a good game. It's not a great game. Like if you're into detective games,
Is it a good game,
there
man?
are better ones.
Or is it just an okay game?
You're starting to make me feel it's an okay game, man.
It's okay to good.
There you go.
Let's put it this way. Let's
It's
let's
okay
put
to
it this
be
way.
honest about it. Be honest with your feelings.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
If it's cheeks, say
too
it is.
long. It's not cheeks. It's not cheeks. That's too far. That's too far. That's too much.
Wow.
Don't be afraid to say it. If it's okay,
Let's not-
just say it's okay.
No. Let's not dunk on this game. All right. There's 6 cases, and two of them are cheeks, as Ron would describe it. 2 of them are bad, in my opinion. Like 2 of them just go into like deep history about literally history, and I'm like, I don't care. I just want to solve the mystery, but it's a history lesson, and I'm like, and it's just very long, and some of the puzzles are very tedious.
You need to learn about the history to understand why the murder
Here we
got
go.
committed.
Detective
and all
Koala
that
want
sort
to
of
run him
stuff.
down
So-
because he had his own opinion about the game.
All right, no, this is where you insert this. No, this is where I insert the Stanley gif of sleeping. Like I don't
Wow.
care about the history lesson. And like, Fulia, did you do case 3 yet? The one with the.
I finished case 3.
Did you like the gate puzzle where you have to control Watson and Holmes?
I honestly
enjoyed that.
was a little bit lost, and then I started watching a playthrough, and before the playthrough even realized that what they had to do, I figured it out, and I'm like, oh, I see what we need to do, and I figured it out. So it did take me a little while, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I think the lack of hints is what really makes this game a little bit okay. I think
Fairly
that's the
okay.
main reason. Yeah, like I think that's the main reason
No.
why a lot of like that Matt have had some issues. I've also had issues. I'm not gonna lie. The lack of hints was very noticeable because it wants you to figure it out. And I'm like, I can't sit here for half an hour trying to figure out one puzzle. Please give me a hint.
I was gonna say you got things to
See?
do, Fulia.
Man, I'm proud of you.
Yes.
You made it 5 cases longer than I did. After that first case, I was like, forget this.
Some of the cases are good. Like when it's just a straightforward murder mystery and it's very linear, it's good. But when it just goes into tangents and stuff, it's not fun. Ryan, you've played Resident Evil 6.
I have. Well, no, I didn't
And you
play
know-
for very long. So, but I did play.
Well,
it.
there's a good reason why. Because can you recall in Resident Evil 6 when if you're playing by yourself and you have to kind of rely on your partner to step on this stone, and then you go step on this stone to open this door, and then I go do this, and your partner does that. Do you recall frivolous
course.
puzzles like this?
Of course, I remember puzzles like that. But I mostly remember them from Resident Evil 5, but in 6, yes, I remember them there too.
That is what happens in case 3. When you control Watson, and you do like you step on this gate. Okay, don't move. Now let me go step on this one. Oh no, I opened the wrong gate. Now I gotta hop switch back and forth. Back and forth. It is literally a Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6 puzzle in a bad way. Like it is bad. All right. But otherwise, like I said, if you took out those 2 cases, and I feel like if you just had the 4 that were very, very linear, murder mystery straight up done, I think I'd have enjoyed it a lot more. And again, I think if you're a hardcore Sherlock fan, then I think you would enjoy all the Sherlock Holmes, nods and references. But if you're not, you just want a detective game, just go play Phoenix Wright, go play Paradise Killer. Like Ron said, go play Batman Arkham Knight. Or Detective. Just other better detective games. Like this one
The Wolf
is,
Among Us is out there.
Anything.
it's fine.
Anything.
Yeah, it's fine. But I did roll credits, so if you did happen to play the game, please join us for the backtrackers. You'll hear me really share my thoughts at that discussion next weekend. Check us out in the Discord. But yes, I finally wrapped that game up, and because I was able to do that, the gaming funk is over. I'm no longer in a gaming crisis. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun again, friends, playing God of War Ragnarok and Princess Peach Showtime. I'm sorry, Xenobabes.
Whoa,
You're
whoa.
probably upset.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Yes, question for the press pool. Yes,
Didn't
Ron.
you say
Yes,
that you just
question.
wanted to play one game and one game only? What happened?
I was gonna
You
say,
know-
see
you know
what
what
it is,
other
Ron?
games listed here.
You know what it is, Ron? I just needed to get one mid game out of my talking.
So Sherlock Holmes is what, Sherlock Holmes is depressing you.
I hate to say it, but it's true. It
It's
really
okay.
like
Sometimes a game can do that.
I'm playing these 2 games and I'm enjoying it. And I'm sorry, Xenobabes, you're probably very upset that I picked Princess Peach Showtime while I shout Xenobabes. Princess Peach Showtime you just turn your brain off, and it's easy. Like you just go through the motions, and it's just
You need something
easy
to cheer
fun.
you up. It's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
it's
Get
just
you out of
it's
there.
just Nintendo charm, easy. It's fun. You turn your brain off. You just hop in, hop out. Very, very happy to be back in God of War Ragnarok, friends. I finally met Tyr. So that was, I'm getting back to the main story, seeing what's going to happen next, because they're trying to stop Odin and Ragnarok, and as I mentioned in the past, like the relationship between Kratos and Atreus truly is the shining star in this game. Like it's just the small, beautiful moments between Kratos and Atreus, like they get me. And it's not even like these massive like cutscenes. It's like when you're just sitting in the boat or you're just walking and they just start talking, and it's just beautiful stuff. There's this one part where like Atreus, I think he says to Kratos, you keep critiquing me. Like, are you upset? Like, are you mad at me? And Kratos says, I'm not questioning your competence. I'm questioning your intent. And some people might be like, yo, that's a backhanded compliment. And it's like, but if you knew what Kratos was like in game one, that is a compliment. Because I can tell you in game one, he was questioning his competence. And number two, he wouldn't even say that to Atreus. He would just grunt at him. Like, to go from that to this, it makes me emotional. Like, it brings tears to my eyes when, like, those beautiful moments happen. Like, like, I've said this before, Ron knows it. This really is the one full experience. Like, you have to play 2018 before you play Ragnarok to really understand just the growth in the relationship between father and son. It's just beautiful, and just like, yeah, like if you're a parent, like this game will get you. This game will get you for sure. There's just all these beautiful moments. There's this one part where I forgot what the head's name is.
Amir.
I forgot his name. Mimir, thank you. The head says he always gives like advice to Kratos and Atreus, which is very lovely, because he's kind of like he's friends to both of them. Like, so he's kind of sees it from both sides.
He's
and
a
he says
side
something
piece.
to Kratos. That's not the exact term I would use for Mimir.
If anything, he's
Please.
Unk. He's Unk. He's not a
Okay.
side piece.
No, that's
God.
not what that. Oh yeah.
It's a literal side piece.
Koala,
He's on
maybe
the
you
side.
do not know what that means here. No.
I don't think
No.
you know what that
I
means.
know what
That's
it
my
means.
response to you.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
Oh, well, you got Ryan to leave, so maybe this is a bonus. So
I heard that, Ron.
Jeez.
I'll just sit here
Wait-
drinking my
wait a-
orange juice. It's fine.
What? Wow. Really, really way to derail my emotional banter.
you were
about
doing a
God
good
of War. I
job,
don't
and she
even know
just
what I'm
came
saying.
in with that curveball. It's all right.
Yeah.
Pull you from the
Wow.
top rope. Just jumping on in there.
Seriously.
It's all right. Get
Oh
back
my
on
God.
track, man. You got it. You're back there.
Mimir, who's a friend. Okay.
right.
Anyways,
Mimir is Unk. Mimir is Unk.
that's right. Thank you. He says to Kratos something about like that you can't hang on to Atreus so tightly and keep him safe all the time, right? Like, because you're watching Kratos as he's trying to let go and let Atreus make his own decisions, even though in Kratos' mind he's like, this is a big mistake, like this is going to go sideways. But as a parent, it's very hard to you want to protect your kids, right? That's number one. Whether your kid is 1 year old, 10 years old, Ron can say, when they're 20 years old, you always want to protect your kids. But at the same time, you gotta let them go and make their own choices. You gotta let them you have to let them make their own mistakes, and it's hard. It is so hard. Just watching Kratos, gets me emotional, friends. Like, this is like Sony first party at its finest. Like, I'm enjoying
Prepare
it.
yourself.
So happy.
Prepare yourself. You ain't seen nothing yet.
I don't know if I can handle it.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Prepare yourself.
Oh my God, Ron! I'm gonna ugly cry. It's gonna be bad.
You ain't seen nothing yet, man. You saw the guys in the channel, PSD channel, what they told you. You'll see. I'm waiting for
cannot
these
wait,
DMs.
friends,
I
but-
can't wait. I can't wait for these DMs. Oh boy.
I can't wait. But no, I am thoroughly enjoying it. And Fulia, I know how you felt about 2018 God of War. I feel like you got to play Ragnarok at some point. Like you got to see.
Really?
Fulia.
Here we go.
Yes, please. Surely
Here
you
we
must
go.
feel differently about Atreus by now. Come on, you got to. All right, Fulia. Why don't you tell us what have you been playing?
Well, it hasn't been God of War, that's for sure.
Just rub it in.
Damn.
The unnecessary shade.
Wow.
What's happened to you the past 2 shows? What's going on?
This is what daylight savings time does to people, Ron. We've talked about this before.
Oh, man. The dark side of koala. Come on.
Well, no, this
right.
is what happened when koala's in HD.
Yes. Well, that's one thing I wanted to shout out. The fact that I have, and this is the first show that I am on with the new PC. Everything is all shiny and crispy and HD koala. I am very happy.
Brought to you by Mitch Power.
Yes, definitely. That was all his help in choosing the right PC for me. It is a pre-built PC, but I had to pre-order it so that they could build it and then have it ready for me. It has all the bells and whistles, even more that I need, but it's future-proofing just in case other things that I need to do requires that kind of processing power or GPU, whatever. It's got a 5070 GP graphics card, which is insane.
Look at you. Look at you.
I have never seen. I've had this old PC for so long. I've gotten used to all of its flaws. So I had a hard time being able to do anything on that PC in the last few years. And now, now I can do everything and more. And it's just so good. I don't have to, my editing is just as quick as it gets gotten quicker. You know, there's no glitching of my stream cam right now. You can see me in full 720p at the moment. Sorry, this is like my geek out right now.
It's
I am
all right.
loving.
It's fine.
I am
Enjoy.
loving this PC.
Go for it. Yes, please.
All you had to do was dial 1-800-POWER your dreams. Mitch Power.
Yeah, that'll be the same price as a new house here in the US before long. Here's the thing. So while Mitch was helping me choose the PC that I needed, he was looking at the prices in USD, and then I told him, no, you need to look at the prices in AUD. And then he saw the price, and he's like, holy crap, what? This pre-built PC cost me $2,400 Australian. That is a lot of money.
What's that in American?
It took a chunk. It really took a chunk out of my savings. All right.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do that.
It's a long-term investment. That's
You
right.
want,
It-
you want a
it
good
is for
computer.
me,
You gotta
yeah.
do it.
So that's the thing. I ran the conversion through. I did a quick Goog, because since you asked, Ron, of course, how much it was in US dollars. That's actually a lot less than you would think. It's less than $1,500 US dollars.
Oh, okay.
1466 is what the Goog result says.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in Australian dollars, that's pretty high. It's pretty steep.
To be fair, I
Yes.
also Googled
Yes.
it, and it's almost the same in Canadian dollars, Matt. So, yeah.
Oh, good God.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. There you go.
Now it puts it
There
in
you go.
perspective. Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's definitely sped up a lot of my production. It's made me feel a bit more motivated to do more stuff, to be able to play PC games more, because it means I don't have to worry, especially when I want to stream things and stream PC games especially. It means I don't have to worry about my OBS crashing on me.
Yep. And then, now you probably also have multiple monitors, so you don't have to.
Well,
have it
I
on
already
top of
had
everything.
2 monitors anyway, so I'm doing a dual monitor sort of a setup here, but
Okay.
it's amazing. It just makes me feel so much better that I can do the things I need to do and want to do without having issues.
Look at that. Look at that. Mitch Power of Xbox Drive, making everybody happy. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
MVP, Man
What
of the
makes
Year.
you a
Yes.
man?
Absolutely appreciate his help. I really do. And there's more things that I want to do. Now it's got my ideas sort of brewing of what I can do.
Look at this. Next time we see her, she'll be playing Apex. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
She'll
not
be so
happening.
excited.
FPS
First time-
queen. That's right.
Well, you're going to be so excited when you go and render your video for the first time in your video editing suite, and you'll be like, "Man, it doesn't take 8 minutes
you know
to do
what?
this anymore."
I did yesterday. I edited I think it was like a 45-minute video.
Yeah.
process in like 5 minutes.
Yep, that's the dream. That's the dream. Wow. That's how you know you've made it.
I was like, oh, I feel like I can get this out of the way quicker.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait or go off and do something else.
That don't do content creation. I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but it sounds good. So I'm happy for her.
To put it in perspective, my laptop, when I export a video, about a 45-minute video that Fulia mentioned, it'll take about 2 hours to export. But on my new computer or Fulia's new computer, it takes about 5 minutes.
Yeah. So my old PC would export videos that long, and it would take it about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on whether it's a bit longer. But I had to make sure that the file size on the export was smaller, and that meant not a very good quality video.
Yeah, you probably would have to turn the bit rate down or lower the resolution or something like that.
Yeah. But now I'm able to export in 1080p and it does it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
that means you can add all kinds of crazy effects on it now. And
exactly.
Matt, do you know what any of this means? Or does it just sound good to you and you're going with it?
This is like sports, where it's like, okay.
Well, I understand sports. But I don't understand this.
This is what happens when you have not one but two people that work in TV on the same podcast.
Yep.
And start talking about video editing. Yeah.
This truly is the all-wheel drive.
You know,
it is.
I can now run DaVinci Resolve, but I got to learn how to use that program first, because so it's a editing software. So it's like Premiere Pro, like Adobe and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's basically like the free video editing software of choice.
Yeah. So I just got to learn how to use that one. But right now, it is quite an overwhelming software, considering that I've been using the Adobe suite ever since uni. And it's been a very long time since I've been using that. I've gotten into a habit of using that quite a bit. So now it's going into DaVinci and looking at it, I'm like, oh, this looks weird.
Yeah. There's some weird stuff, but there's also like effects and stuff like that are a little bit easier to do, especially if you use like some of their stock stuff.
Yeah.
Some of their stuff
I agree.
It's pretty good. So
I agree. It does look a lot easier to sort of streamline a lot of the editing process. Every software is intimidating until you buckle down and learn it. Yeah. I've been
You're telling me, Seth. You're right. I know.
Ron, it's okay. You don't need to worry about all this.
Don't you worry. I'm not going to.
It's all me.
See, I mean, and Matt, you actually do a lot of editing because you cut a lot of like shorts and stuff like that. So, I mean,
just on my phone. I do not. My PC will explode if I try to edit videos again.
That's true. That's true.
It takes a while to use DaVinci Resolve. I remember those, and that was like what Ryan described. It's like 5-minute video. Then give me 70 minutes to export it. But okay.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there.
I'll come back.
Waiting for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Look.
Exactly, Cap. This is too much. I'm with you. Give me a button and let's go.
But anyway, we're gonna steer this back on.
Let's
track.
go back to the games.
Let's talk about games again, please.
Okay, so let's stick to the list. I'm gonna start off with some PC games that I have played since getting this PC.
Allow me to just leave this comment the entire time we talk about PC games.
That's what it is.
All-wheel drive. Just make it happen. Make it easier.
So I'm going to talk about. I played a demo, and it's for a game called Worldless. Now this is a 2D platformer with some turn-based combat, but it's set in a very abstract world. So the art style is very abstract. The character that you play it's almost like you're in space kind of a thing. And it looks really fascinating in terms of its art style and the type of enemies that you have to face off in a turn-based style. It's timed turn-based though, so you only get a certain amount of time before it goes to the next, before it goes over to the enemy when you're in battle. And it's really interesting. It does get a bit challenging. So I feel like Ryan, you might enjoy this because of the turn-based combat, but there is some platforming involved. It's actually pretty good, and the art style is just really out there. Like, it's nothing I've ever seen before. So it looks really cool. I really like it. And the skill tree, so there is a skill tree involved in this, is very interesting. It doesn't go into like a skill tree menu per se. It's essentially the protagonist, and it's sort of like it branches out from the protagonist itself, from its arms, and it's really cool. So I kind of like that.
Okay, I'm watching the trailer for it on Steam. And it kind of reminds me of like Outland, which was an Xbox 360 game that Housemarque made, with a lot like platforming where you're kind of using you're using different things to boost through the environment, or you're switching up colors to get through some combat puzzles and stuff. It looks very similar to that game. So those were the vibes I was getting by thinking of watching that.
Yeah. So it's actually a really interesting looking game. So I'm gonna keep that on my wish list. It is available to purchase at the moment. So if you guys want to go check it out, you can, and the demo is available. Another PC game that I want to present to you all was a game that I was playing on stream, and it's for an RPG.
Interesting. Bringing in the RPGK flavor here.
Here we go. It's for an RPG by the name of Battle Cakes. And it's a turn-based RPG. It's absolutely adorable. There's a character creator for your little cupcake. You're a cupcake in this town of cakes. And it's absolutely cute. The dialogue is hilarious. I absolutely love it. And your cupcake is just very optimistic and just wants to be a warrior and just get through, help everybody. They just want to help and save the town. And it's so cute. The character designs, the world, the art style is absolutely amazing. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's so cute. And it's very colorful. So cupcakes are the best protagonists ever. Yes, Rybo. I agree. Absolutely. It's so cute. But yeah, that is a game that I've been playing and I've been enjoying very much. And I feel like I had to share this with everybody because it's adorable and it's an RPG. So this is an RPG I can get behind.
It kind of reminds me of South Park, The Stick of Truth. That's what I thought of when I was seeing that turn-based combat.
Yes, Captain, you can customize your cupcake. There is a character creator in this game.
They literally that was one of the first things we saw in the trailer.
Yep. You can change its frosting. You can change the color of the cake. You can change the color of the foil that it's in.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Looks good.
It's also very inclusive because it allows you. It allows you to, like, if you were a person who is confined to a wheelchair, it has that option to make it look like you're in a wheelchair as well. Or if you need a walking stick, it's got one with a walking stick. It's absolutely adorable and it's so inclusive, and I love it. I love it so much.
Aww.
It looks good. Very charming.
The dialogue has me giggling every time I go through it. It's actually really fun. All cupcakes matter. Exactly. The sprinkles, no. I don't think you can customize the sprinkles. But yeah, it's really cute, just in general. Going back to the PlayStation now. I did actually play games on the PlayStation.
What?
Yes, I did.
This is it.
Go.
Go.
Here we go, friends. Here we go.
I'm about to die on air. This is it.
He almost knocked Ron out of his chair.
Almost.
Oh.
Look, I can't go without playing on the PlayStation. Like, come on. PlayStation and PC are my two main platforms at the moment. The Switch is over there.
Whoa. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, we don't. It's
Let's
okay.
not
It's
slam
okay.
the baked
That's
potato.
right. No. Keep that potato where it's supposed to be, in the kitchen.
No. What do you think I was doing before the show came on? Just playing on the baked potato. All right? Slow down there, friends. Come on.
Now,
Take it easy on the baked potato.
since you mentioned
My
the
goodness.
PlayStation, fully.
Yes.
Riley King has a very important question for you.
No.
Dragon Age question mark?
No, not yet.
I was gonna ask as well. It's fine.
But I did play an indie game. I started playing an indie game by the name of The Pedestrian, and that is a 2D puzzle game. And it's really, really cool. The puzzles do get kind of challenging, but it doesn't mean that you don't know how to work it out. You can work it out. It's not too bad. And I really like it. It's essentially you are the street signs, and you get like the character, the silhouette character on the signs. You are that character going through signs. So you go it's almost like you have to get from one sign to the next, and you have to join signs together to make sure that you can get to certain places. You need to grab like keys or blocks to be able to get up to certain heights. It's a really cool looking game, and it's definitely one that I had in my backlog for a little while, because I've actually been wanting to play it for quite some time. I think I picked it up as part of the PlayStation Plus. I think it was like the Essential, one of the months for Essential. So I managed to grab it while I could. And yeah, I am really enjoying that game, and it's so cool. The puzzles do get a little bit more elaborate the further you go on, but it doesn't go for very long. I think it's going to be how long did Beat say? I think it was like maybe a 4 hour ish kind of a playthrough. So it's not too long.
That's too long of a puzzle game for me. Just you describing it sounds too puzzly. No, thank you.
That's the point of the game. That's the genre of the game. It's a puzzle game.
Nope. Nope.
Can't have that.
But
Like
the aesthetics
puzzles?
are really cool. The aesthetics are really cool. The art style is really awesome. Because you're essentially playing in the signs. You are playing within the signage. But the background is a 3D space. So you go from the subway tunnels to the streets to, just all over the place with wherever there's signage. So it's actually really cool. So
Matt,
I really enjoyed playing
sound like a kind of game for you, Matt?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Not a Matt game, no.
No.
And the last game that I want to say is I have rolled credits.
On Horizon?
Jusant.
Really? Congratulations. Very nice.
I rolled
Jusant's
credits on
climbing.
Jusant.
Jusant's fine. Yeah.
The climbing game, yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent.
I have rolled credits on Jusant. I am planning on going back to clean up the trophies to get the platinum for it.
Yes.
It was absolutely gorgeous. I almost cried by the end of it, and it was just so amazing. Yes, Ron?
Hello. You mentioned trophy cleanup. What about Spirit Fair?
Oh.
And
good
so we
question.
move on. Ryan, what have you been playing?
Wow.
You didn't have anything else to say about Jusant? Okay.
Oh, look, honestly, I could rave and rant about it so much. I absolutely love that game. The music is what really hits me the most.
I remember you
think.
weren't like totally feeling it halfway through, so I was like, I'm glad that you actually enjoyed it.
Yeah,
in the
no,
end.
by the end of it, I was just like, it's the best. It was just amazing, and there were some really surprising moments for the end, and I was very happy to have
I'm looking
finished
forward to
it.
playing that one. Marcus O'Neill has been on me about it. Wants me to skip the wheel for it and everything. I told Marcus in due time.
Wow.
That's at least progress. You have at least bidding in due time it'll skip the wheel.
He's not gonna skip the wheel.
Well,
But
or
for
get
Marcus, I might do it for Marcus. I might do it for Marcus.
Interesting. So, now that you've so eloquently passed the baton to me, Riley King, of course, asked in the chat, I wonder how many games Ryan beat this week. The answer may surprise y'all. It's not that many. There's only 2. I only beat 2 games this week. So, by the way, Ron, you'll be proud of me. I only played
Will I?
games on PlayStation this week.
Oh,
That's
No
good.
Switch games.
Very
No
nice.
Switch games.
God.
So,
The Twilight Zone.
first off, I talked about this on last week's show, but I have finished Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake on the old PlayStation 5. I don't like
Very
Dragon
nice.
Quest games at all. I didn't like Dragon Quest 11. I didn't like Dragon Quest 8. I thought they were boring, but this one I actually had a great time with. I really enjoyed the combat system. In fact, I ranted and raved about this with Garrett on RPG Cave yesterday for about 20 minutes because I like this game that much. So, yes, there's a little bit of a learning curve. There's a big part of the game where you have to grind because it is even though it is a modern remake of a game, they did preserve a lot of the old school difficulty and grinding aspects. So you do have to grind a little bit in the early game, but once you get over a certain point and when you kind of learn the system that it wants you to do, where you're trying to level your characters to level 20, and then you kind of reboot your characters to level 1 with increased stats. So then it's almost like Fire Emblem in that way, where you're re-leveling your characters over and over again in order to kind of build these crazy builds where you just one-shot monsters and stuff like that. But this game was super fun. Yes, the story is okay, but it's visually beautiful. Seeing Toriyama's art in HD 2D is incredible. And I loved going to all the different locales, the crazy spell effects, just everything about this game just oozes a great time. So I'm actually really excited for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D later this year, in a way that I wasn't before playing this game. And like I said, if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts about it, go listen to RPG Cave this week because I talked Garrett's ear off about it. The other game I finished this week, which is a replay of an old game, I went and booted up the Jurassic Park collection and played Jurassic Park on Sega Genesis. I beat the game both as the Raptor and as Alan Grant because you get to play as two different characters. They have two different campaigns, but they kind of come together at the end. And that game doesn't hold up right well. But it's a Jurassic Park game. It's a Jurassic Park game I grew up with and have a lot of nostalgia for. So wanted to give it a shout out. And then finally, friends, I have been playing a brand new game. Just came out last month. If you remember on last week's show, I had gotten a shipping notice from the NIS store that last September I had apparently pre-ordered the Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories, and the Envision Lands Collector's Edition, and totally forgot about it. So it came in the mail this week, and I've been playing this game nonstop since I received it. This is my first real Atelier game. I dabbled with Atelier Ryza, the PS4 game in the series, and just was never really able to get into it, whether it was the mechanics or the story. There was just nothing about that game I was really into. But this one, friends, has its hooks in me. I'm really, really enjoying this game a lot. It kind of reminds me of the Tales games in a lot of ways, with its combat system where you get into combat battles and you've got these special moves with these combos that you're trying to pull off, and they run on cooldowns. So it plays very similar to a Tales game where you're kind of going between your different moves as you're racking up these combos to deal kind of maximum damage from the enemies, and then you can kind of like move out of the action and then use like the bolt end, the gun end of your staff to shoot the enemies at long range, and you're kind of like playing with this mechanic of going in and out of combat to deal extra damage to the enemies. And then of course you're exploiting their weaknesses with different magic attacks and stuff like that. This game's also very pretty. It's cell shaded. It's very anime, but it looks really, really good on the PlayStation 5. It runs at 60 frames per second in its quality mode on the Pro. And of course, there's a ton of collecting to do. There's a giant open world to explore. The story is actually pretty good too. It's about basically the world had kind of been most of the major cities in the world had basically been destroyed by this disaster caused by alchemy. So the world has kind of banned the use of alchemy. So you, the main character, Yumiya, your mom was an alchemist, and you, of course, she wants to use alchemy to kind of like track down what happened to her mom. So it's actually a pretty good story overall. So I'm about 20 hours into this game so far. Really, really, really enjoying this one. It says I'm about 20% through on my PlayStation 5. So we're in for a long one, folks. But I'm actually pretty impressed with this one. And it took this long for me to be, really into an Atelier game, because Garrett's been raving about these games for the longest time to me. And I've just never really been able to get into them, especially because a lot of them have like really complex alchemy, like crafting systems that are just not really my thing. Whereas this game really just makes the alchemy very, very easy to get through.
Yeah, that's why people liked Ryza, and Ryza was so big is because they kind of dumped a lot of that stuff from the old days behind. Thank goodness.
And this one does an even better job of that too, because you can even do what's referred to as guided synthesis to make your to craft your stuff, where it'll be like press this one and press this one and press this one to kind of get like the optimal items out. So yes, really, really enjoying Atelier Yumiya. I'm sure I'll talk about it more next week after I finish it after next week's show. But with that, friends, it is now time for me to jot down the time code as always, because it's time to shift into topic of the week. So we're going to talk about, when do we buy our video games? How do we manage our video game funds? When's the best time for us to buy games? When do we like to buy games? Like, what we're going to talk about when Matt likes to throw his money at the screen to buy games, as the thumbnail kind of insinuates. So
Yoko Taro.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this a little bit on the podcast before, but you know, it feels more pertinent than ever to talk about this particular subject. So Ron, start us off, man. What's the approach you take to buying games?
First of all, no game even gets consideration outside of Falcom games, of course, because you guys know I'm always day one with those. But a game has to at least be out for 6 months for me to even consider a purchase, because most games ship in an unplayable state. There's always something wrong with it, whether it's a save state glitch or something else going on with it. So I at least give a game about 6 months, because I figure most studios are going to try to have it patched up to the point where it's probably going to play the way they intended. But even after that, with me having, I think it's 114 games in my backlog at this point, I usually wait till like a 35-40% cut in most games before I think about buying them. So nothing really gets that full price tag from me. I just got too many games in the backlog to really go out and rush out and buy a $70 or $60 game.
Nice. Well, before we go any further, Ron, because I have follow-up questions, we have a brand new YouTube member,
Yoshi G.
Yoshi G. Shout out to Yoshi
Let's
for
go.
becoming a member over on YouTube. Of course, you enjoy your new emotes. But yes, so there are no games really besides Falcom games at all that bypass the day one for you, Ron?
Yep. No.
Interesting.
Yeah, just Falcom.
So let me ask you this then: when the Falcom games slow down, because we know they're probably going to slow down coming out at some point, will you feel differently about that? Do you think, or the same way? No,
because mostly for the fact that Falcom, most of the time when the games come out, there's never like any major glitch or bug or anything like that. Usually those games are pretty much good to go from the start. And then, like I said, usually those games always kind of bypass the wheel, and I'm instantly on them if I'm not playing another game by the time they come out. So even if they slow down, no other studio is going to replace that.
Okay. Yeah, because that's actually like very timely, because this afternoon, you know, speaking of Atelier Yumiya, I actually ran into a bug this afternoon where the game didn't give me this material for a quest that I needed to make an item for the main story. So I had to reload my save, and my save was an hour earlier than where I was. No. So I basically had to redo that whole thing over again.
That's why I just wait 6 months. That's why I just wait. Good grief.
And especially because I was like, where is this item? What? Because I was able to unlock the recipe to use the item, and it only gives you that recipe when it's giving you that item in your inventory, but it's nowhere in my inventory. And I went to the forums to go look at it. It's just filled with forum posts on people on Reddit just being like, yeah, there's a big bug with this game.
No. Yeah. That's not good, especially when it's involving a major quest. No.
Yeah. Main story quest to boot. It's just like, you can't proceed without doing this one. And it's to unlock the motorcycle of all things too, which is
pretty important.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, yeah, interesting. That's a good, you know what? That is a good mentality though. Cause again, you get a lot of games on sale that way. Or you don't have to worry about bugs and glitches and stuff like that.
It used to not be like that, but it's right about PS3, PS4 era, man. It's just, games just were shipping in bad states, man, especially Ubisoft games. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. 6 months sounds like a good number to wait for people to get their stuff together. And I've stuck with that since then.
Assassin's Creed Unity was really the turning point for a lot of people.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's probably why I was able to enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda. I didn't play that day one, and like a lot of people did, and they hated it. I actually enjoyed it, but it was also way down the line by the time I got to it. It already had that big giant patch, so yeah.
That's true. That was another one. But Matt, how about you, man? Like, how often do you go buy a game day one?
Friends, I'm a mess. Like, sometimes I truly am the thumbnail where I'm like, yep, shut up, take my money, just take it all, and I'm part of the problem. Usually, if it's for like a very, very special collector's edition, then it's like, well, if I'm not pre-ordering day one, then I'm going to miss out. And then I got to pay twice as much from the eBay scalper. So I'd be stupid not to buy the collector's edition on day one. Perhaps.
Well, if you're gonna want
Depends
it,
on what it is.
If you're gonna want it, like that's the best way to do those.
Exactly. Now, as we know, friends, PlayStation, Herman, they are not being very kind to Team Physical because now they're shipping out collector's editions without the disc. So,
But they come
Ghost
with
of
a steelbook.
Yotai,
Wait
an
a minute.
empty steelbook. It's
Hold
a
on.
slap in the face.
Sony
Ron,
is
you know
trendsetting.
it is.
Sony is trend setting because everybody else has started to do this as well. You're welcome.
true.
You're
That's
welcome.
true. The best, Matt, is we learned this week that with the Switch 2, with Switch 1 games that are up-res for Switch 2, it comes with the Switch 1 cartridge in the box.
That's right.
And a download
What
code to give
a
you the upgrade.
Yeah,
What
enjoy
a
your
slap
code.
in the
Enjoy
face.
your code. You're welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
It's
What
so
a
silly.
slap in the face. No one asked for this. Nintendo, Dougie B,
Herman
nobody
called
asked for
Doug and
this.
he was like, Doug, don't waste the time. Just give them a
Oh
code.
my gosh.
You know, at least they're giving you physical things at all. Xbox doesn't give you physical anything.
There you go. There you go. I mean, come on. You're getting the Switch 1 game. What's the problem?
Yeah.
You are
I
getting
already
a physical.
have the Switch 1 game. I already have it. I don't need two of the same cartridges. It's just
Giving
I'm
you a
paying
physical?
more now.
There you go. Take it. Have
Oh
another.
my god.
It's just
I
like the
can't.
Death Stranding collector's edition coming up. You get a code in the box.
That's
Yep.
But it's
that's
still-
what I'm saying, friends. Like, so we'll have to see. Like the next collector's edition, it'll be. I'm very curious to see what it'll be that I actually want it, and I might even think to myself, you know what? If I don't actually want everything else and I just want the statue or the steelbook, maybe I'll just buy it from an eBay scalper. Maybe I'll just do that. It really, really
no,
depends.
Don't
but
do that. You'll be overpaid.
Well,
Don't-
you know
don't
what?
do that.
I'd rather give it to them than to Dougie B
Oh.
and Herman, who's doing us dirty with
Wow.
their no disc. Okay, that's right. That's where I'm going. Getting petty.
Jesus.
I mean, come on. You're getting a physical. That slip that code is on is a physical thing.
You're physically holding it in your hand. You're reading off of it with your
That's
eyes.
right. You have it right in your hand.
Friends.
It's a physical thing. It's material.
Friends of Team Physical, please tell me if you take the physical slip that has a code and you put it in a frame and you put it on your shelf. Please tell me if you're doing that, and I'll be curious. I'll be curious if you're not just like me who types in the code and then recycles it.
Actually, Matt, if I may, the steelbook
Please.
case that they give you is the frame that you put that in on your shelf.
Oh my god.
That's right. Put that
can't.
code back in there, and then
Yeah.
you got a physical thing inside of a physical thing. Come on. Inception.
No.
Timid.
See, I'm with Matt on this one. If it comes with a physical code, if it comes with
Thank
a
you.
code in the actual case, once I've inputted that information, it's going in recycling.
Don't try to be nice to
Right.
Matt now after you were turning him down last week.
It's look.
Don't try
Here's
to be
the
his
thing.
friend.
No.
No.
Here's the thing. Like you've already used that code. Where else are you going to use it? You can't use it anywhere else. What
can't
is the
use it
point of
again.
keeping it? So might as well just get rid of it.
Well, if you're going to take that approach, shouldn't you also do the same thing with the game? Once you beat the game, get rid of it?
No.
No.
Physical,
Oh my
physical
gosh.
is different
No.
story. Thank
It's
you
a physical
very
piece
much.
of paper. What's the problem?
Not the no. You want me to get rid of my disc? I don't think so.
Go ahead.
No.
You already beat the game. Just toss it.
No.
There you go.
Hey, there are
No.
other approaches in getting rid of games that you've beaten if you don't want to keep it, and it's not trashing it.
Just go ahead and toss it to the side.
Go and trade it in and buy something else with it. With that money.
right.
Yeah.
Team Physical for you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all right. You're on
Thank
borrowed time, Matt. Enjoy it while you got it left. It's about to be over.
Oh, friends.
It's about to be
It
over.
hurts.
Yep.
There you go, Seth.
It
Play Frisbee with
hurts.
it. Word.
So Fiona's at least on
Oh my
our
God.
side. Sell the physical game.
Yep.
Thank you, Fee.
Fiona plays mostly cloud games.
Matt, real
she still
quick.
appreciates it. Yes,
Do you,
Ryan.
do you want to
yes.
answer this question from the captain? Has Matt pre-ordered the Last of Us controller yet?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I saw that thing. I got hyped because I'm like, yo, it's The Last
Man,
of
that
Us.
thing is
Give me that
atrocious and
controller.
it's basic and it's lazy. Don't you dare.
And then I looked at it and I was like, this is not as nice as the PS4 one.
There you
I
go.
can't. I
There you
just can't. There's too many colors happening with it. So, friends, if you got it, great. But I looked at it and I was like, there's too many things happening. There's too many things. It's not a central theme. Couldn't
See
do it.
what Fee said? Did you see what Fee said? I know Fee. There you go. Ron is right. I don't own a physical game. LOL.
Except for, of course,
Still-
Wii and Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, that's fine.
right.
That's fine because I got old games like that too. It's fine.
But like, if I had the digital edition of Atelier Yumiya, then I wouldn't get this cool like reversible cover art.
yeah, look at that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
You don't need a game
and-
disc in there.
And
Look at that beautiful case.
A code here, not necessarily a code for DLC, but a code to get the manual for the game, because there's a manual for
That's
this game
right.
that they made.
Who wants
They
to waste
put in
paper on the
raw.
manual? Follow the tutorial.
Yeah.
No. Okay, we're getting off.
Get over
going
it,
off
Matt. It's
tangent
not
here.
1982. You don't need a manual anymore.
No. I need to go back.
boy.
Go back in time, friends.
Oh,
I can't.
boy.
I can't. Okay. I don't even know where we. I don't even know what's the topic again. Jeez.
Yeah,
But
John.
about physical
Canadian
games?
gun show's
No.
getting mad.
When do we buy games,
No.
Matt? When do you
That's
buy
right.
games?
That's right. All right. Anyways, I'm slipping into bad habits this year because I started buying games on day one. And I'm not playing them on day one, and I gotta stop that. So if I actually am gonna buy day one, I actually gotta mean it and play day one, because otherwise, no. Because games here, they are either $79, so it's $80, or they're either $90. Now, good old Nintendo, they're raising the bar, right? If you watch the Nintendo Direct 2 on Thursday, they raised the bar. Ryan, I don't even know what the conversion is when they said $80 for Mario Kart
$100.
USD. Okay, great. That's great. $100 before tax. Friends, that's a lot of money.
Nintendo 64
you know-
days are back, baby.
That's a lot of money. And we know Phil's gonna follow. We know Herman's
hold
gonna
the phone.
follow.
I did the incorrect
Yes.
conversion, Matt. It's 115 Canadian dollars.
Oh, even better. Thank you. That's even better. Before tax. 115 before tax.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So listen, let's put it this way. Unless it's Resident Evil, or like Ron said, Yoko Taro, or The Last of Us Part 3, which seems to be never coming out, I'm not buying games on day one. I can't, it's just too expensive. I got a backlog. Yes, it's small, but still a backlog. I don't need to be buying on day one when the games get shoved aside. Like Xenoblade Chronicles X, sitting on the shelf. I did not need to buy it.
Totally
Day
worth
one.
it. Totally worth it. It needs to sit there. It's fine.
No, that's not what I meant, Ron. It's not about sitting on the shelf. It's about
okay.
the fact that I bought it.
I'll say
when
it
I
for
wasn't
you.
ready to play.
I'll say it for you. I know what you want to say. It's all right. You just don't
Whoosh.
want to say it. You're afraid they're going to come for you. Don't be scared.
Oh, they're already after me, Ron.
Yeah, be
Xenobabe,
there
you're
for the
upset.
smoke. It's all right. Sometimes beef. It comes. It comes.
I don't know. A lot of the in the community, a lot of the Xenobabes are moving away from X. So I don't know if there's as many coming after you as you thought, Matt.
They're coming. They're coming.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I can't buy on day one anymore. Like, it's just there's no point unless I'm actually going to be playing on day one. Like I said, I got backlog. Indie games, right? I think that's a little bit different for me personally, where it's like I really want to support the dev, where I will be like, I'm gonna double, triple, quadruple dip, right? Because if it's a special game that really resonated with me, I want to shout it from the rooftops that other people play it, because we know they're not getting the same funding that a AAA game has. Like, that's literally their livelihood. So for indie games, I think that's a bit of a different case where I don't mind pre-ordering, buying day one again. Like I said, buying it multiple times, especially because they are priced, more friendly for consumers, right? 20, 30, $40 here in Canada. And in my opinion, some of these indie games are better quality than some of the AAA games.
A lot of your indie games that come from backtrackers, though, right?
The vast majority of them are usually recommended from backtrackers. There might be like one or two off the beating track that I might be into, but usually it's something that I've picked up from the backtrackers. Something else that, listen, some of them are just random, right? Like good old Killer Frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, technically Josh reckoned it to me first, but it was in fact Locklith that pushed me to buying it and playing it. That's just how it happens.
Seth, I know Seth is like, oh, here we go again.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. It's because of
She's an
Locklith. We all
influencer.
know it. She is. Sorry, friends. It's just how it goes. But
I'm not going to say that until she
yeah.
gets me on a farm simulation game, which it hasn't happened. So she's not influenced through me.
But yeah, like just the prices are out of control. It's gonna be wild. They're gonna go up, so it's gonna be, especially in Canada, like Brian said, like $115 for Mario Kart World before tax. Like,
well, after tax for us here in Ontario, that's about $130. So, yeah.
Listen. I'm good at PowerPoint presentations, but I'm not that good. My wife will be very upset. I can't. So
Have you
gotta be more
you
careful.
got that PowerPoint ready?
Oh, for the sweet potato, it's ready for Wednesday, friends.
Okay.
Like Quag said, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. From the wise words of Matt.
All right, guys. Well, by the time that comes out, if you don't see Matt on the show, we'll send out a APB
you know why.
for him.
Yeah, you'll know why I'm dead.
And that's
hanging
when the
on
show
to my
went off the
pre-order.
rails. 160 minutes into the show. And that's what happened. Well, Foya, how about you? How do you purchase games?
So it's a little weird for me because I'm fortunate enough that I work at a store that actually sells games. And because of that, I'm able to get them at staff pricing. And it's not like it's a massive discount or anything like that. It's like maybe a few bucks here and there. But it still helps in a way.
Yeah.
And because of that, excluding this year, the last few years that I've been working at this store, I have been purchasing quite a lot of games day one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even though I buy them day one, I don't necessarily play them day one. They kind of sit on my shelf collecting dust, unfortunately, until
Kinda.
And until I decide, oh, I bought this like so and so time ago. Maybe I should play it.
Horizon.
Damn.
So, yeah, I was the type of person who would get bought into the hype and buy games day one before it, like when it was released. But after a while, I've gotten to a point where I thought, I need to stop doing this because every time I buy the game, it doesn't get played straight away, and I feel bad about doing that. I honestly do feel guilty that I buy the game and then I don't play it, and it just sits there. So I've sort of came to the conclusion of, all right, unless I know I'm going to be playing it like as soon as I buy it, I'm not going to touch it. This is where my little challenge for this year came in. After, Sean and Matt went through the whole, and some CPG community members went through the whole year without buying games at all, I thought to myself, I think this year I need to limit the amount of games I buy just so that I can, A, at least go back and play through the games that I have bought in the past and get them out of my backlog. And B, only buy the games that I know I'm going to be playing. And so far, it's actually been working for me this year. So at the moment, I've only been buying, I've only bought 2 games so far, and that was in March, so last month. And they were both indie games. One of them was Sherlock for the Backtrackers. And then the second one was another indie game that I bought at the end of the month. So I'm doing pretty good to not spend too much money. And not to mention the fact, a lot of these indie games, because they're digital, there's no physical to it, they're cheaper. They're a lot cheaper. And a lot of indie games do also go on sale quite often. So that makes it a lot easier for me to justify purchasing it as well. Which is another thing that even before this year, like even last year when I was playing a lot more indie games, I think a lot of the time I would wishlist the game and wait till it notifies me to say, hey, this game's on sale. And that also helps too. So, being able to, have Steam and PlayStation send through a notification saying, hey, this game's on your wish list. It's on sale now. That's also very helpful for me. It also allows me to think, whether or not I should buy that game, or if I feel like I can wait because I'm not going to be playing it straight away. And knowing that a lot of indie games go on sale quite often, I can hold off on it sometimes if I know I'm not going to be playing it straight away. So, yes, Ron.
You brought up wish list, and I just wanted to put out there that I would love it if some of these wish lists would step their game up like Deku Deals. Shout out to the mighty Bowser for getting me on Deku Deals. That wish list is fantastic. You can set your price, your percentage for that stuff. I love it. That way I don't get unnecessary notifications. When it's on sale at a price that I want, that's when I get a notification, and I know I'm ready to buy. I love that. I need all wish lists to be like this. All of them. Oh.
Yeah, Deku Deals is actually really good as well. I'm also using Deku Deals as well. It helps me to bring the games that I want from my wish list into one, and then it just tells me, hey, it's on sale now, but it's not its all-time low. Or it'll say, hey, this is the sale. This sale price is the same as the last sale price. So that's actually a really good way of tracking games. If you want to save some money, use Deku Deals or other sites that do same sort of wish list sort of similarities. And it really does help. It really does help in figuring things out in terms of your spending habits. And yeah, so this year I've limited myself to buying 2 games a month. And that's only if I really, really want to play them. That's when I'll buy them. Otherwise, I don't. And my January and February, I didn't buy any games at all, just because there wasn't really any game that I wanted to play day one. So I decided not to worry about purchasing it. So that's me at the moment. It's just unless I really want to play it, I'm not going to be buying it straight away.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, because like this year for me has taught me that, first of all, I should play more games from my backlog than usual, and that I should never feel bad about just playing a bunch of old games that are really short and just having fun with it. Because that's the thing. Like, I am the type of person that always, before this year, would just buy any game day one, but it was only games that I intended to play. Like, games that I know I was going to at least, like, the day I buy it, I'm going to at least play it for a little bit to see if I want to play it right away or not. And the intention would be there to actually play it down the road at some point. And in most cases, I usually would just play that game and just stick with it. It's obviously there are some games you pick up and they're just not for you, or you're just not in the mood for it. And that's okay. But now I kind of have to be a little more choosy, because that, as Matt kind of alluded to, like, it's a real sticker shock when you see the games over $100 price tag. Even though the conversion, when you convert it to US dollars, it's not actually, not much more than what Americans are paying. It's basically the same price, but still the idea of this justifying $100 for a game becomes a much bigger prospect when you hit that, 3-digit amount that makes me want to shy away from only doing this for certain games and not doing it for every single game. Like, definitely not being as liberal about buying so many games day one as I used to, for sure. Like, it's really, I've really come to, change my ways. Like, definitely, like, when Candidate for comes around, when I can buy games again, yes, I'm probably going to pick up a lot of the games that I wanted to pick up over the course of the year that day, and go on a bit of a spending spree. I've already kind of allocated money for me to do that. But after that, I'm expecting it might only be 1 or 2 games a month that I buy day one, if there are that many games that I'm interested even in that month. I mean, there's a lot of games I'm excited for coming out this year. Donkey Kong, Metroid. There's a lot of stuff on PlayStation. Borderlands, I'm excited to play. But it's one of those things where, how many of those do I really buy day one? But I'm actually so glad that I actually decided to wait on Assassin's Creed, because, I could have, bought into a subscription to play it right away on Xbox, or I could have, if I was able to buy games, bought it right away for, over $100 after tax. I'm actually glad I waited for that game, because by the time I get the chance to play it when I'm ready to play it after in July, like, it'll be on sale because it's Ubisoft. So I'm expecting I'll be able to pick it up for a pretty good discount. So, this year has really, taught me that I need to kind of change my ways at least a little bit, and, spend a little bit less money on games day one But it is kind of my main hobby of choice. Like I don't really, go to the movie theater or, spend a lot of money on, alcohol or anything like that. Like games are kind of the one thing that I really spend a lot of my money on. So that if it appears like I'm buying games more than other people, that's only because games are just my main source of entertainment that I spend money on. So that's kind of why it turns out that way. But even then, even at that point, it's just like, well, how many $100 games can I really buy in a month? Day one, really? Like you just can't. You can't, especially where I live, right? So yeah, that's kind of what my approach is. That I have to be a lot more selective and kind of like wait for sales on a lot of games. But obviously, if I'm really in the mood to play something specific, it's brand new, I'm gonna opt to buy it day one, and I'm okay with that. Knowing that's kind of how that works. But it also means choosing one game means I can't choose something else. So, but that's just how I feel about it. But let's move on to the carpool. Let's hear from the audience. We're gonna start with Solo, who says currently playing Assassin's Creed Shadows and trying to balance between playing the game to stopping to take pictures. The game is stunning to look at in all the views it offers, and even more with the change in seasons to keep the views fresh. During several of the story main missions, you get to choose who you want to play as, so I mainly play as the female Naue. Enjoying her style of fighting, more ninja than samurai. The skill tree is manageable, and the game has all the factions you can hunt down if you want to see more content. Buying habits, I mix up between wishlist shopping as sales land, and some games I do buy day one, as they are ones that I know will be games that are my favorite elements. Hardly ever and never buy 3-day early access price tag on games. Yeah, that's an interesting conundrum, because that's a game thing that we've seen crop up a lot, especially on Xbox, and we're starting to see that a little bit in PlayStation land. But it's one of those things where, like, I personally don't mind paying that extra 3-day tax if I'm interested in the DLC for a game, because that's usually what you're paying for. It's not actually for it to come early, but you're usually paying for the DLC. So if it's got DLC I'm interested in, then absolutely I'll do that for that. Like Indiana Jones, for example, if I was buying that game day one, which I can't buy games day one right now, but if I was, I probably would buy the premium version, because the DLC sounds like it's going to be pretty cool for that game. But I know not everyone really wants to look at it that way. So interesting, Solo. Interesting. Well, next up we got Cwaggy, who says, "It is I, the Cwaggy, king of the Xenobabes. With Nintendo dropping a bombshell of its first $80 game with Mario Kart, how soon do you expect Sony to announce the price increase, and why is it Monday morning?" I don't actually think it'll be anytime soon for Sony. Because I think Ghost of Yotei, for example, is not going to be, any more than $70, and I don't see Marathon being more than $70, which we're finally hearing about this week. So I don't think that they actually announce any of their games this year will be $80. I think if they try that, it'll be next year, and maybe it'll be Spider-Man, Venom, or Wolverine will maybe be their first one that they do that with. But what do y'all think about this, Ron? What do you think about when is Sony going to raise the price on games?
I don't think if they're going to do it won't be until PlayStation 6. I think that's if they do it. Hopefully Sony has the common sense to know that if Nintendo's games sell at $80, it's because their fan base is they're wild as it is. They buy multiple Switches. It gets a new screen, they go out and buy a new Switch. It gets a new Zelda edition, they go out and buy a new Switch. Nintendo fans are totally different from the average fan base of Microsoft or Sony. Sony needs to have the common sense to say Nintendo can get away with that. $80 game is kind of pressing it. They're getting close to that, and it's going to really depend on what they put that price tag on. Maybe if it's a Spider-Man or an X-Men game, a God of War, something like that, maybe they can get away with it. But they're not going to be able to use that as a standard price, I don't think.
And to be fair, Nintendo isn't either. Like, they're only doing it with that one game. Because, like, Donkey
we'll
Kong
see.
is a $70 game. I would imagine they're only going to do this for, like, the next Zelda game or the next 3D Mario game. But, like, if they do another 2D Mario game, it's probably going to be $60 or, sorry, $70. Or
I'm not going to give Nintendo that. I'm not going to give Nintendo that leeway, because Nintendo overprices their games. I'm not going to pretend like Nintendo doesn't do that. So, no. We'll see how it goes, man. Like I said, it just depends. But Sony's going to need to remember that Nintendo can do that because their fans are different. Sony isn't going to be able to do the same thing that Nintendo does. So hopefully they'll be very careful with that. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see.
And that's the thing. It's going to be interesting to see even if Nintendo can get away with it. Like how many people will they?
Oh, they will.
How many customers will they lose by the $80 price?
I don't see it happening. Yeah, I'm with Matt. I don't see it happening.
Shut up, take my money. It's already happening. Okay. I'm part of the problem. I will be part of the problem.
I mean, to be fair, most people who buy Mario Kart are going to be people who buy the bundle because it's so much cheaper to buy it that way.
I mean, look, they said $450 for the console, and you see what people are doing. Everybody's like, I'm going to find a way to make it work. They're selling stuff. They're finding a way to make it work.
They'll get a second job, like Ken Kutaragi told us to do to the PlayStation.
Nintendo 3. fans, man, stay wild.
Exactly. Oh. You know what? I'm going to have to disagree with the two of you. I think Sony's going to come out here. I think it's going to be Ghost of Yotei. I think that's their next big one. I think arrogant Sony is back. I think they're like, you know what? Nintendo's doing it. We know GTA 6 is doing it. Everything's going up in price. It's not our fault. This is our big flagship title. You want it. We're top dog. Okay? Xbox fans, you're going to hate me for this, but like, you're not going to pay $190 for Ghost of Yotei? You gonna play something else? No. Give me your money. They're gonna do it.
Well,
they'll do it.
You can't factor in Microsoft fans, man. Microsoft has they've conditioned their fans to not buy games. So
yeah, that's true. They conditioned them to buy.
They're not buying an $80, $90 game because they don't buy games now. So that's not gonna work with Microsoft.
Yeah.
They're an outlier.
Exactly. Thank you. They had to turn to PlayStation to sell their games. So I mean, come on, dog.
They're an outlier, but I honestly think I think they're going to get away with it. They've been pricing stuff high. Sorry, we're just being honest here.
Yeah, we're just being real. We're just being real.
Right. No, I think Sony knows they can get away with it, especially when they see, watch, GTA 6 is going to do it. These companies are doing it.
GTA 6 is going to be $100 now, just like this analyst said.
That's right.
Now that they did this.
I mean,
Sony's going to say, look.
I saw Gene Park from the Washington Post talking about it this week after the Nintendo Switch event, where he was mentioning that from what he's been hearing from other companies in the industry, like they've been waiting for this to happen.
They've been waiting.
A lot of companies just watch WWE 2K next year.
Yep.
$80.
It's just weird that Nintendo would do it, man. That's the thing. Yeah. It's like if 2K or EA had did this, everybody would have been like, okay, it seems like them. Nintendo doing it? It's just like what's going on?
It was a surprise, but no, Ryan's right. Every developer's just been waiting, just like that GIF. He's rubbing the hands behind the tree.
Hands.
Yes,
that's fine. Yes. They can do it. I'm not buying it at that price. That's for damn sure.
I mean, unless they take the line that Nintendo does, where they don't put their games on sale.
Yeah, well, then, but once again, Nintendo can do that because they have a ton of money in that war chest.
Yeah.
Sony, they can't do that. Microsoft has Xbox money and they also have Windows money. They'll be okay.
True.
They've turned into a services company, so they don't really need that extra thing like that. But Sony, they need console movement. They need sales. They can't do what Nintendo and Microsoft do. So they better be very careful with what they plan on doing with those prices.
What about you, Fulia? What do you think about this question?
It honestly, like at the moment here in Australia, PlayStation games are, especially ones that are really big AAA games, they're already at the $80, $90, $100 price mark here. And that's including tax. Now, I know that the moment, because right now, those Nintendo Switch 2 games, over $100, no. It's too much. It's too much. So, I don't know whether Sony will do it immediately, but I feel like it will happen. And I won't be surprised when it does. And it might happen, I don't know, it might happen later down the track, like maybe later in the year, maybe closer to the holiday season. But even then, I feel like they might wait until maybe next year to do that. It really depends on what kind of games Sony has in their in their
Zero.
catalog.
Zero.
That
They only
they're
have.
gonna
They don't
bring
have any
out,
more.
so-
They don't have any more first-party games coming after Ceros comes out.
Well,
PlayStation 6.
Are you saying Intergalactic isn't coming out on this console generation?
Nope.
Despite the fact
From,
that they said it's
No,
not.
right
we know
from the
it's
beginning,
not.
I said that is a PlayStation 6
Yes.
game. I don't care what nobody
No.
They
says.
told
We know
us
it's a PS6
PlayStation
game.
5.
Yeah,
They
well,
told us
Sony
that.
tells us a lot
No,
of things.
Yeah, no, we already know it's a PS6 launch title. It's true. It is
It's a
true.
PlayStation 6, so yeah. No way.
Yeah.
The other thing I will also mention is the digital prices on the PlayStation Store, especially when they're new, are more expensive than the physical
Yeah,
edition.
which is crazy.
Which is stupid. It should be the other way around. Like, it makes no sense.
They're also
There's no
not the only
case.
company
There's
that
no
does
case.
that.
There's no piece of paper for the download code or nothing. Why does it
they're-
cost more? Come on.
They're not the only company that does that either. THQ Nordic in Canada
Mm.
specifically puts their games up $10 more or sometimes even $20 more than the physical versions on the digital store. Because like Dead Island 2, as an example, was 93 Canadian dollars to buy digitally, or it was 75 Canadian dollars to purchase physically.
It makes 0 sense, man.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it was so weird. I was like, what is this? Like, you could buy the collector's edition physical of Dead Island 2
It's
for
wild.
$3 more than the digital version of the base game.
Yeah,
I don't get
and
it.
the other, and that's it's the same goes for like the Nintendo games. If you buy Nintendo games on the eShop, they are more expensive than what it is in a store physically. It's so weird. I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, I feel like it. I don't think the announcement's going to be coming anytime soon, but it will happen down the track, I would say.
Yeah, of course. Every company's going to go down the line to $80
Easily,
or
yeah.
even $100 after GTA comes out at this point. You know,
This is why PC's catching up. PC game prices ain't crazy like that. So PC's catching up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason why I've slowly been turning towards PC gaming lately, just because it's more affordable.
Yeah.
that's also part of the
It
reason why
makes sense.
Microsoft's
Yeah.
trying to get like multiple storefronts on their next console. So then, you know, prices do kind of even out at least a little bit, and there is more competition for game prices. But, anyways, moving on. We got Drellish who says, "Question for the one and only Ron." Your name was in capital letters, Ron, by the way. AKA
Cool.
the Platinum Trophy King, King of the Xenobabes, and the upcoming Sweet Potato King. Yes, these are all titles I'm giving him. Me, as in Drellish, and no one else who has access to the show notes. So not me. I'm absolved of this. This is
Sweet
Drellish.
Potato King?
It was Drellish.
Yeah.
All
Now,
Drellish.
I will continue with Drellish's question. What is the latest update for the remake of Trails in the Sky First Chapter? It got announced on August 24th, and I have not heard about it. I want to play it as an entry into the series during Christmas 25. Do you still think it's coming, and why should one play it? So go ahead, Ron.
It's on the way. It's on the way. The trailers have already pretty much have said that it's on the way. You've gotten the stuff about the voice work, the leak from the physical edition coming out in September. So it's going to be the perfect place to jump in at, Drellish. You're doing the right thing by starting there. Falcons did a pretty good job of sitting there trying to find jump-in points for all that stuff. But remake, that very first Trails, that's where you should sit there and start. That's where the journey truly starts at. It's the best place to sit there and get going.
Interesting. I know that we've talked about that before, but I'm kind of interested in playing that game too. I really want to check it out when it comes out, especially because, again, one of my biggest hangups about the Trails games is like, I don't want to start in the middle.
Yeah,
Kind of want to just go back to the beginning.
Even
Like,
Dr. Blandis is interested. So
And this one looks pretty cool. And, you know, this probably isn't correct, Ron. I don't know if this is correct if I have to Google this myself, but on VGP, which is a Canadian website, where they are the exclusive retailer for this game in Canada, they've listed the release date here for the game for September 25th of
yeah,
this year.
that's what they're saying.
So,
That's what the rumors are saying.
coming out around the corner, I think.
Yeah, that and then Trails Beyond is right around the corner, beyond the horizon, right there.
It's so many. It's so many Falcom games in 1 year.
It's really not. Square Enix does a lot of games, releases throughout the year.
Yeah,
These are the ones that count. Quality RPGs.
Quality. Exactly. All right. Next up, we got Final Fantasy VIII is Life, Final Fantasy VIII is Love, who says, "It is I, the loyal court jester to the king of the Xenobabes. I have been playing Final Fantasy III's Pixel Remaster in an attempt to platinum as many Final Fantasy games as I possibly can. Now my question is, are there any game series in which you hope to have all the platinum trophies for? So for me, there isn't really a series that I have all the platinum trophies for. I think the closest series for me to have the platinums, for all the platinums, is actually Mass Effect, because I have the platinums for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I just don't have Andromeda's platinum. But do I really want to go back and play Andromeda to get that platinum? Probably never. That will probably never happen at this point. I mean, again, Andromeda is not a bad game, Ron. I will be the first to admit it. I think it's actually okay.
It was good. I don't know if I want to go back and play it again for a platinum, but
100%. That is exactly what I was about to say. Like, there's no way that I ever probably go back to that game for the platinum. But that would be the closest one I am to. So no, it's not really super important for me to have like platinums in a series. Also, shout out to you, Awesome Dave, for attempting to go for all the Final Fantasy platinums, because there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are ridiculous. Especially the other three Pixel remasters, 4, 5, and 6, are really crazy. The platinums for those, and then Final Fantasy 13's platinum is ridiculous if you don't have it already. And of course, I've talked numerous times about the Final Fantasy 14 platinum, where you literally need over 1,000 hours to get it. Oof. But
oh boy,
now I kind of want to know his plans now to know which ones he actually is going to play. If he's going to play all of them, then
he did say attempt to platinum as many as he can.
Oh,
so
goodness.
It doesn't mean all of them, but there are certain ones, like I said, that are like really, really hard.
Certain ones he needs to avoid. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
I mean, Matt learned all about the Rebirth one last year.
Yeah, some of those you
Don't
need
do
to
it, Dave.
avoid. Yeah, Dave,
Don't do
just avoid some of those. Some of them are just unplayable. 13, 15.
At least 13's a good game, but the platinum sucks. One of these days, we're going to do a talk about how Final Fantasy 13 is actually a solid game. And we're all going to agree on it. It's going to be great.
Oh, Cap, there you go with that Blitz ball. No, thank you.
No, that's 10. That's 10. That's Final Fantasy 10. There's no Blitz ball in Final
No Blitz
Fantasy
ball,
13.
sir. Get that out of here.
That's Final Fantasy 10. We don't, not 13. Lightning doesn't play no Blitz ball, Ron.
Oh, man. Get that Blitz ball out of here, Cap.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the question, though. What about you, Matt? Is there like a series? I know like you try and go for most of the Resident Evil platinums, but is there another one?
That is the one, Ryan. The Resident Evil ones. It bothers me that I don't have all of them, and I really want to at least Dave, at least attempt it, because I already have 8, 7, 4 remake, 3 remake, 2 remake. I got those platinums. All I got to go back for is Resident Evil 1 remake, Resident Evil 0, and then Revelations. But then it gets a little dicey because I technically don't have the PS4 platinums for Resident Evil 5 and 6, and if I do Revelations, I gotta get the PS3 versions and the PS4 versions. And I've looked up the I've looked up the Revelations platinums, and Resident Evil fans are like, yes.
You don't. If you've already got it on PS5, why go back to the PS4 and PS3 versions?
That's not how Matt
works.
works.
No. The platinum will say it's PS3 or PS4. No. They're different platinums. That doesn't count. No.
Wait, hold
Resident
on.
5?
Hold the phone for a second, Matt.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you have the platinum trophies for Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles and the Dark Side Chronicles on PS3?
No, that's too much, Ryan. It's just the mainline series. Please.
Man, I'm not going to count those.
Oh, God. No, those games aren't even fun. All right, jeez.
I know they're not fun.
credits on
But they're still Resident Evil games. They're
No,
You know
no,
what?
no.
I would wager, Matt, they're more fun than playing Resident Evil 6.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, he got quiet.
Can't even counter argue that.
No,
I'm like,
you really
shut him
can't.
down.
You really have to think about that one.
And yet you have the
I didn't
platinum
think
for
about
Resident
it.
Evil 6.
You know what? Co-op makes Resident Evil 6 fun. But,
Co-op can
I'm
usually
not
make a
counting.
You can
game
play
better.
co-op for Dark
No.
Side Chronicles and Umbrella Chronicles.
Who's gonna play Dark Side Chronicles with me?
All you gotta do, Matt, is get 2 Move controllers, and you'll just do this. You'll do this and shoot the screen.
No.
In fact, you
I
know
got
what?
I got friends.
Matt, I will come over to your house and we'll co-op with it together.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is true friendship right there. To do that game, that is true friendship. No, Resident Evil mainline games. All right, Final Fantasy. Like Dave's not going out there doing what is it like the Crystal Chronicles for Final Fantasy. Like I think he just meant
He might try it. Games. You never know. He loves Final Fantasy 8 and 9.
He didn't put the parameters.
You let us know,
so we don't actually know.
You let us know, Dave. Are you going for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Platinum? Please,
I'm gonna
let
ask.
me know. Let me know.
Also, Matt, where's your trophy progress on 2 Resident Evil core games, of course? Operation Raccoon City on PlayStation 3. And then also Umbrella Corps on PlayStation 4.
Operation Raccoon City, Ryan. Do you have any idea how disappointing that thing was? Like,
At least it's better
I
than
remember
Umbrella
seeing
Corps.
that. Yes, yes, but that's like comparing trash to trash. Like, it's not like one necessarily better for the other. Both of them suck. All right,
That's
like, come on.
that's like saying that you got
Come
all
on.
the Metal Gear Platinum trophies, but you didn't do Metal Gear Survive.
Oh,
No
okay,
one
we're
wants
getting
that.
down to the rabbit hole, friends.
No one wants to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants those platinums. All right, keep them. Just please.
Especially
No,
Survive.
thank you. I don't.
Oh,
Oh no. Just the
Wow.
good ones from Resident Evil. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Interesting. Ron, how about you, man? I know you get a lot of platinums. Is there a series that you go for all the platinums for? Definitely not all the Falcom games. 'cause that
no.
would be too much.
I love Falcon, but no, I already spend like anywhere between like 100 to almost 300 hours. I can't do 2 playthroughs of that. No, thank you. Assassin's Creed seems to usually be the series that I get most platinums for. So Assassin's Creed is the one that comes to mind instantly, because usually I do sit there and get trophies for most of those games.
Interesting. I like John 32's question here. I want Ryan to get all the platinums in all the fast food mascot games. John 32, just so you know, I have the 1,000 gamer score in Sneak King. So that's good enough. That's good enough for me. But Fulia, how about you? Obviously the platinum queen herself.
Well, I platinum games, but that doesn't mean I platinum like franchises. I don't think I've ever done that, to be honest. I'm like, at the moment, Tom 2's coming, so that could be my first like series that I could platinum the series, even though it's only 2 games.
Hey,
But
it's still a franchise. It's fine.
it is. It is. So that could be one. But I'm not the type of person that goes out of my way to find a franchise and go through and sit through all of them and platinum them all. And especially considering that I'm only recently doing more trophy hunting in the last couple of years. So I don't think I've ever done that. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
That's right. Don't challenge the queen. Don't challenge the queen. She'll get it done.
She's probably going to win this year. The
will.
platinum trophy queen this year.
Oh, we don't
100%.
know.
I don't know. I'm not starting off so hot, so I keep playing long games.
Ron, I currently have the goose egg this year. I don't have any.
I don't know, Ryan. I think I might have one.
Yeah, I think you have one.
Yeah.
You mentioned it before. I don't
Okay.
remember the name of the game, but I remember you mentioning one this year.
Okay, yeah. The queen. It's between the squirrel and the marsupial.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes coming out. You're gonna be a little preoccupied.
I was going to say, I'm in the same
Please
boat.
got a
Matt.
chance.
I'm in the same
Yep.
boat.
Got that sweet potato coming.
The only game you're going to be busy with is what? Mario Kart?
No, GameCube games. Ron, please.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I get a sweet potato.
Fire Emblem Path of Radiance will be waiting for us this year, and it's going to be
Thank
glorious.
you very
okay?
much.
Look. I
Exactly.
appreciate them showing love to the GameCube. You already know how I feel about that. That's the Nintendo GOAT console to me. You already know.
Yes, it is.
That's fine
It
with
is.
me. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
It's the goat.
I'm actually really excited to go back and play Wind Waker again, by the way, Matt. I really am.
Wind
Right.
Waker is actually
Yes.
one of the best Zelda games in my opinion.
See? Ron's got good
Thanks.
taste.
I love Wind Waker.
Confirmed. Yeah. All right, moving on. We got the captain who says, my spending habit is to wish list and wait for sale unless a game gives me all the right vibes like Expedition 33, which is coming out this month. Yes, I think it's out in a couple weeks, which is awesome. At this point, I have enough of a backlog not to worry about buying games day one at full price. I am currently playing Elden Ring. This is my 3rd attempt, and it definitely has its hooks in me this time around. This game has gone from good to being one of my favorite games of all time. Sometimes you just need a
Wow.
certain mindset for a game. My first 2 attempts, I couldn't get in past the 15-hour mark before dropping it, as I wasn't really enjoying it. This time, I'm 50 hours in, and the platinum is looking achievable. My question for you guys is, though, what games have you gone back to that you had completely different view upon second time around, good or bad? This is an interesting one. I didn't have time to think about. I don't really have a good answer for this one.
Oh, Koala's ready to
the
go
top of my
already.
head. Yes, go ahead, Fulia.
Yeah, so I had to have a think about this one too, because I don't think I've actually had any kind of gaming like thing where I tried it once, I put it down, and then I'd come back to it again. But I think you two, I swear. For the audio listeners, you might want to watch the VOD for this.
Do we need to separate the two of you? Does it need to be a thing?
Always watch the VOD. Come on.
We're just having a bromance. What's wrong? What's going on?
You know I get distracted easily.
That's how you can tell we've been almost recording for 2 hours at this point. Stuff like this is happening.
Yeah, so the only game that comes to mind for me where I stopped and then picked it back up again was Portal 2. Now, I originally started playing Portal 2 on PS3. And back then, I wasn't really a massive gamer. I was still your usual casual gamer, and I just play games because it was fun. And then I think I started off playing it as co-op, and then I think I dropped it because the puzzles were a bit too difficult, and I was unable to get back to being able to play co-op with the friend that I was playing with. So I didn't end up touching that for quite some time. And then in, I think maybe 2018, I bought it again on PC, and I ended up playing it on PC. And that is when I actually was like, oh no, I'm actually enjoying the puzzles. And I played through it even more. And I actually managed to get to a point where I passed the point from my PS3 playthrough. And I was actually very proud of myself to actually get to that point, to the point where I actually managed to roll credits for the first time on Portal 2. So that's the game that sort of comes to mind for me, where, I started off and I wasn't really enjoying it as much because back then I wasn't really into the sort of puzzle games. And then a few years later, I got back into it and I love it.
Nice.
All right.
To the point where then I went back and bought Portal, the first one, because I never played the first one, and played through that.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I did actually think of one. Earlier this year, I went back and played a game that I tried to play last year, the beginning of last year, and was not really into at all. I put it down very quickly, and I just was not really into it, which is too bad because it was during the review period for said game, and I just wasn't really into the game I was reviewing at the time. Of course, that game being Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, which I picked up again earlier this year. I wanted to give it a second chance. It was on my second chance list of games that I'm continuing to go through this year. I had a blast with it, going through it again this year. I think I just wasn't in the right. I just wasn't really in the right mindset when it first came out, I think. And the second time around, I think I was really in the right mindset for that game, where I really could not put it down. I had so much fun with that game, revisiting it, and I think it's one of the better games I've played this year for sure. So, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, great game, and it's a shame that it took me an entire year to really actually enjoy that game.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. Ron or Matt?
For me, it was the first Ni no Kuni. I had played the demo back when it first came out for the PS3, and I absolutely hated that demo. I had played it multiple times, just trying to see if I would click with it. I hated it. So I pretty much just wrote the game off. Despite, several of my friends were saying how great it was and stuff, I just was like, nah, I got my taste of that from the demo, didn't want any part of it. But then Ni no Kuni 2 came out. It was actually, I waited up for a sale on that one. I had no intention of buying it, but once again, my friend who enjoyed Ni no Kuni was like, man, Ni no Kuni 2 is good. He said, look, it's only a couple bucks, but you should try it. I was like, you know what, fine. I played Ni no Kuni 2. Ended up enjoying that a whole lot. Platinumed it, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to go back and give that first one a try. So it was on sale, super cheap. I got it. And I don't know if it was just maybe a different mindset, the fact that I enjoyed the sequel so much, or what it was, but I ended up enjoying Ni no Kuni a lot. And it was a great game. Really enjoyed that one. So I got turned around on that because I really hated that demo. So
Nice.
Hated it.
I remember it just randomly just puts you in just a random spot in the game, and it was not a great demo.
Yeah. It's not a good demo.
Jeez. I'm going to talk about a game that I will give another chance to. Instead of talking about the ones that I've already done, I'm going to talk about a game I will give another chance to.
So you've
haven't
taken
bought
a
it
game
yet.
out of your backlog and put it onto your front log. That's what you're saying.
No,
Don't
do it, Matt.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
My man.
Okay? All
My
I'm
man.
saying is, when I see the game on sale, I will buy it. And then, anyways, the game that I'm going to give another chance to, okay, is Control.
Yes.
Listen. Quag crushed it. Not Ron. Sorry, I know Ron's talked about it, but it's Quag. I'm just being honest, all right?
No, it
He
should
wanted
be
the
Quag.
Nintendo
Yeah.
Drive. He was on Nintendo Drive. He just sold it so hard. I was like, okay, fine. I need to try this game. I need to give it another chance. Obviously, I do remember when I was playing it, I was trying to rush through it. I was trying to juggle something else. I can't remember what else I was trying to get into. And then, I just got lost in the map. And I was like, but you know what? He just sold it. And it does sound like a perfect Nagachaka game. So I really do need to give it another fair chance. I'm just waiting for it to be, super deep on sale. Because again, I got my own backlog. So I'm not in a hurry. But I have decided, yes, I will actually buy it again to give it another chance.
Excellent. You're giving props
on
to Quag
paper-
is giving props to me because I'm like Kevin Bacon in the situation. There's a lot of games that I have recommended to Quag that he loves. So we're right on synergy with that. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm glad he
So,
got you into
so
it.
when I thank Quag, I'm thanking Ron. When I
are.
thank Locklith, I'm
fine.
thanking Seth. It all works out. You're welcome.
It's all one
Thank
and the
you.
same. It's all
That's right.
pipes.
There you go.
I'm happy. I'm glad. I want you to play it again.
Excellent. Well, moving on, we got John32, who says, "Hi, this question is for Fulia. Now that you are officially the quote-unquote Mitch of PlayStation Drive, which first-person shooters do you want to play this week? Also, just kidding. Real question. Big indie releases are incoming over the next few weeks.
I'm so
What are
confused. What does that mean? There's a bitch of because you have a brand new PC? I don't get it.
I am just reading the question
She's the queen of
verbatim.
FPS. She's the queen of FPS,
sure.
Ron, right?
Is she?
She plays the FPS shooters.
She only
Yeah,
played
yeah,
Titanfall
okay.
2, though.
I am just reading the question verbatim as John32 has put it. I don't actually know more than you do. So, anyways, continue. Big indie releases are incoming over the next few weeks. What are you most excited about? Also, everyone can answer this if you have games. So, Fulia, the indie minivan driver, go ahead, regale us. How excited are you for these indie games?
Look, I am very, very excited about a lot of indie games, but I didn't prepare myself because when I saw this question, I was just waking up.
Okay.
There are a lot of indie games coming out. It's just in this month alone, like just for April. And one of them I'm definitely keen on having a look into is Koira. That is a Don't Nod game. And it looks great. I love my Don't Nod games. Jusant was a Don't Nod game.
Vampire?
And it was beautiful.
Is that another one that you love as well?
Which one?
Vampire?
What's Vampire?
You don't
Like
leave another
Vampire?
one. Vampire
Is it good?
No, it's not.
Oh, does it?
I was gonna say.
This was Don't Nod during the bad period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean more the recent times.
Even though you should play Remember Me. That's a great Don't Nod game.
That is. And you can play it on your shiny new PC.
That's right. Your PC can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
send
it
you a
rings a
trailer
bell.
later.
It rings a bell, but
I'll
like,
send you a trailer.
It's like a sci-fi game. This woman lost her memories. She's got to get her memories back.
okay, I need to look into this. Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm curious about Blueprints, and that's not one that I would go out of my way to play normally, but it looked intriguing. So I like just by watching the trailer. So I'm kind of curious about that one. And then there's Lost Records. Now I know Chapter 1's already, or Tape 1 I should say, is already out. Yeah. I'm waiting for Tape 2 to release as well so that I can go and
One
play
full
both
experience.
of them. Just play it all at once. Yep. Yeah. One full experience. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Rather than playing one and then waiting.
Yeah, same. I'm in the same boat for you, where I was just like,
Yeah.
I knew it was like they were like, yeah, Tape 2 is coming out in 2 months, and it's the only other tape that they're doing. I'm just like, perfect.
I was like, I'll wait then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Another one that really, really caught my interest was a Lush Foil photography sim. Now, I played the demo for that on my old PC, and I didn't do anything. I just played the demo, so I didn't like record any kind of content or anything around it. It looks very, very pretty, just in terms of the scenery that you get to go sort of walking through and then take photos of. It's as if you're out there with a DSLR camera. You get to play around with the zoom and the focus and, you know, the f-stop, and that sort of stuff just gets me really excited about taking photos, because you're able to manually adjust everything to the way you want it. And that's what this is going to be like. And the fact that it's in different cities around the world, it means that I get to experience these areas without having to leave, you know, my house, which is pretty cool. But then, you know, maybe one day after playing that game, maybe one day I'd actually want to go and experience it for myself, because I think they're based off of real places. So I would love to be able to check that out. And I think it's coming to PlayStation. Yes, it's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and I think Switch as well. I don't know how well it's going to work on the Switch, if I'm honest.
We'll find out.
Unless it's for Switch 2. But I feel like that particular game I might pick up on PC more specifically. Now that I've got a really nice beefy PC, it might look really nice through that. So I'm definitely going to hopefully get around to checking that out, because I'm really curious about that game. I don't know if there's like any other games coming up soon. Free Ride was one that I had to, I played a little bit of, like the demo was, it was really interesting. It's really cute, sort of interesting art style to it. What else? To a T. That's that one is where the character is pretty much got its arms sort of straight out in a T position, sort of a T pose. And you're essentially, that's the only, and you can't like move your arms. Your arms are stuck like that. And you sort of move around doing things. And that sounds like fun and chaos. So I feel like that's going to be interesting to play as well. There's like so many different, Date Everything. Now, Date Everything was supposed to come out on Valentine's Day, but it got delayed, and now it's not coming out until June. So I'm very keen to check out Date Everything. I was actually really looking forward to it when it said it was coming out at February 14, but now it's been delayed, and I'm just, I've been really looking forward to playing Date Everything. It just looks hilarious, and just, you know,
I feel like the highlights from Summer Game Fest last year.
Yeah,
when we watched it together.
Exactly. I think that's gonna have a really quirky kind of dialogue when you go through it. So that one I'm really looking forward to.
That's the game where we were watching the trailer and the dev came in to come hang out with us for like 20 minutes.
that wasn't for Date Everything.
That was the house dating
that
game
was for building
that's
relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, I got thinking.
Yeah.
So odd.
But
this is odd,
I know. I know that Amanda's looking forward to Date Everything, and Fee also. Yeah.
She literally said yes, Date Everything.
Date
in
Everything.
All caps, so clearly she's excited. Also, I love the fact that you were just like, oh, there's only a few games coming out. You just rattled off like
you're giving us 20 indie games.
Yeah.
That's within the next couple of months.
Right
like
here.
that's just this month and next month. Like this.
Hey, John asked you to give him what he wanted, so you did.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more coming,
nice.
And we'll have more details for you on the mini indie man.
Oh, okay, good plug.
There's your plug.
Good plug.
Very smooth. Very nice.
All right. Moving on, we got Tim Paullin, who says, hello, PlayStation Drive crew. In the past, my buying habit was to buy only the new releases that were must-plays. The problem is my other habit was the inability to say no to a great deal, hence why my backlog is where it is and why I still haven't purchased any games in almost 15 months. Ignore the tariffs, I got stuff to play, in capital letters. I'm currently playing Silent Hill 2 Remake that I was gifted. It's my very first Silent Hill game. So, got any tips? Have a great show. Well, first of all, Tim, I'm so glad you are entering the town of Silent Hill. for the first time. Silent Hill 2 is an awesome game, and I
the
hope
best
you
one.
really enjoy it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Old Kings, baby. Old Kings.
Yeah. So what I will say for tips is honestly just have fun with it. Explore everything. Make sure to pick up everything that you can possibly pick up. Don't forget that you can smash in car windows to take stuff out of the cars that have been abandoned, because you're going to need some of that stuff to get through some of the environment. And yeah, just don't forget to check your surroundings in that game, because a lot of the puzzles in that game especially are like visual based, that are usually if you get lost in that game, it's usually because you might have missed something while you were kind of exploring the areas that you explore in that game. But otherwise, just have fun with it, because Silent Hill is an incredible game, and I hope you really enjoy it. So there you go. One day, maybe we'll get Matt to play it. One day. We'll convince him one day down the road. Even though I know he would love
Definitely.
that game.
On a sale.
Definitely.
On a sale. It's only a matter of time.
On a sale. It's on my radar, for sure.
Yeah. Only when you're ready to play it, though. You know? Don't want to get it when you're not ready to play it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Put it ahead of Xenoblade.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And
No.
Yep. This next question, by the way, is going to be a stern reminder as to where to buy games. Of course, this one is from Kiku. It's the final question of the show, and she says, "You know my game buying habits are bad when I've only played 271 games, but I still have a backlog of over 500 games that I own. I buy a lot of games day one because I'm a sucker for limited editions. If it's just the base game, though, I'll usually wait for a sale before I pick it up. Now, for my question, have you ever pre-ordered a game, then had your order canceled by the retailer? I've only had it happen twice, once by Amazon the other day with the limited edition of Witch Spring R, but most notably Bandai Namco themselves with the limited edition of Ni no Kuni. The latter sent out a hand-covered guide for the game as an apology to those whose orders were canceled. I never did buy the game after all, though. Just rented it because it made me so mad." So have we ever had a retailer cancel a game on us? I don't think this has ever happened to me. So I'm curious if this has ever happened to any of y'all.
Mm-hmm. EB Games.
I'm about to let you friends know. Go ahead, Ron.
Alpha Protocol.
Apparently
Sega didn't let anybody know that they wasn't going to hit the release date. I got a call from EB Games that morning, and they were like, "Hey, just want to let you know we're canceling your pre-order." And I was like, "Why?" And they was like, "Sega delayed the game on the day of release."
Also,
what?
Hold the phone. Why would a game being delayed be grounds for it being pre-orders being canceled?
Well, this is EB Games. I mean, so I don't know. But
I don't know. I've pre-ordered things from EB Games before here in
I'm
Canada.
I'm assuming that maybe EB Games thought that Sega was going to cancel the game. I don't know. I just got the phone call. I don't work there.
That's so weird. It's so bizarre, man.
But it's okay. I mean, the game ended up coming out. I ended up getting it eventually. But yeah, EB Games was canceling all the pre-orders for it. So I guess they must have thought that Sega was going to cancel it. Or maybe they were pissed at Sega for calling them that morning to let them know.
Well, yeah, out of spite, canceling pre-orders then.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I mean, I guess I'd be pissed too. I don't know.
Well, at least, Ron, it was worth the wait.
It was for me. It was for me, yeah.
That's a great game. Y'all should play. More people should play Alpha Protocol, goddamn.
I agree. It's on GOG and Steam. Do it.
If only Sega would remaster that game.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. All right, Matt, go ahead.
I've not had this happen to me yet, but I'm curious if it will happen because, friends, when Metroid Prime 4 was announced, what was it, 7 years ago? Right? It was announced 7 years ago, wasn't it?
Has it really been that long?
Or 8?
2017 was when it was announced.
Wow.
So 8 years
They announced
ago.
it. So way back when, friends, okay, in Canada, I don't know if you remember this deal, Ryan, when, back when E3 was a thing, if you pre-ordered at least 3 games that were announced at E3, you would get $20 off each game.
Yep.
So in total,
nice.
You'd be saving $60, which means at this time, games were $60 back then. It's basically you buy 2, you get 1 free. So I pre-ordered 3 games, including Metroid Prime 4. And even if the game doesn't come out right away, they would maintain that price for you.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see if I will get my copy of Metroid Prime 4 for $60, or if they'll jack it up, or if they just cancel it because it's been 7 or 8 years. And the interesting thing with Walmart Canada is that when you pre-order it, you only have half an hour to cancel it on your end. After half an hour, you can't cancel it. You have to wait till it arrives, and then bring it to the store to refund it. Because I was like, I might as well just cancel this thing. I was like, oh wait, I can't.
Although I
So
did
that's-
learn, Matt, that they can cancel an order if your credit card expires before the date the game comes
wow.
out, because that
makes
happened
sense.
to me, because Matt for them and also GameStop for the longest time, actually with Walmart, you couldn't change your credit card information, so you couldn't update the credit card number if it expired. So that I did have a game pre-order canceled on me because it took 3 years to come out, and my credit card had expired in that time.
Well, I can tell you right now that my credit card has changed since the last 7 years. So
It's okay. Metroid
Let's
doesn't
see
come
what
out
happens.
anyway. You're fine. You're fine. It'll be
It's
7 more
literally
years.
coming
Coming.
out this year.
It'll be
Ron.
7 more years. You'll see.
That's right.
I know someone who played it. Yes,
Oh shit, fool you.
I'm
Yes, fool you.
I'm curious to know why they just didn't like cancel it after 1 year that it hadn't been in it like released. Like why would they hold on to your pre-order this long?
Well, no, technically they can.
They don't do. They can, but never got
Really?
the email. That's just how they do it.
A lot
Yes.
of places probably wouldn't do that. Like from
This is
from my own
Walmart.
knowledge.
This is Walmart we're talking about.
Oh, we don't have
Well,
a
lock
Walmart
in your
here,
pre-order.
so-
They- Oh. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that explains it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you pre-ordered it at like the Piggly Wiggly or something like that, then they'd probably cancel it. But Walmart, I don't think so.
I've never actually had that happen to me at all, because any of the games that I had pre-ordered, they had like confirmed release dates, and they all came out on the day that they were released. So, yeah, I don't think I've ever come across that issue myself, to be honest. So, yeah.
Matt, by the way, I'm placing my bet now. I'm pretty sure you're going to get charged for that game, and then we'll receive that game.
But the question is, $60 or their new price?
They will
That's
give
what I
you
wanna-
it at the price that.
Yes.
They will honor the price.
Yes, excellent.
That's
All
what I
right.
think will happen with Walmart.
Everything's
better
coming
not
up
charge
in the
you
house.
$80.
With
They
all
better
my
not charge you
experiences
$80
with
for that.
dealing with Walmart Canada, I'm like 90% sure that that's exactly how that'll be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if they weren't going to
Excellent.
honor it, they would have canceled it by now.
Also true.
You're lucky, Matt. You're
right.
lucky because that game ain't no damn $80 worth. I'm sorry.
No,
And,
it's
I'm a
gonna be-
Metroid
Prime
guy.
4?
It's going to be
I'm a Metroid
$100.
guy. I'm a Metroid guy. But did you see
Please.
that thing? It looks like a $60 game. Or actually less.
No.
It looks
It's
awesome.
not an $80 game.
120
It looks
FPS,
fun.
Sweet
It
potato.
looks fun, but it don't look like no damn $80 game.
I am ready to spend $120 on that game.
Well, right.
Yes.
Don't get me started.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited for it.
Same here.
I said it, John.
I agree with that. Anyways,
Oh boy.
that's going to do it for an extra long episode of the PlayStation Drive. Yes, I didn't say the Nintendo Drive this time, the PlayStation Drive. But before we
Everybody knows what
go,
drive it is.
we got to say thank you to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming, starting with our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on the Xbox Drive, as well as our podcast. You can check out all of his music over at his Linktree, linktr.ee/pme.jib. Of course, he's got his brand new album out right now. You can go check it out. And of course, Cwagmire, who reminds you that best babes are in fact Xenobabes. And TechMike, who says, whether you're Kevesi or Agnian, you're a Xenobabe at heart. Links to all of our ultimate producers can always be found in the description of our podcast. Our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, the Captain, and Tim Paullin, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, John 32, Ligerwoods 330, Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Peje, Riley King, Solo, Stephen Keller, and Toxic. Huge thank you once again to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. If you want to hop in the car with us, head over there, choose the tier that's right for you. And now, Ron Plugs go.
Savoy Prime on all the things. Blue Sky, PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, Backlog, PSN profiles, True Trophies.
And Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me as Nagachaka in the Carpool Gaming Discord and on Blue Sky.
And how about you, Fulia?
You can find me at Foolish Fuji on Blue Sky and Instagram and YouTube and Twitch. And you can also head on over to foolishfuji.com for everything else. But for PlayStation Drive exclusive members, you can head over to foolishfuji.car.co.
Card, baby.
And as for me, you can find me in the Discord at Ryan Turford. You also find me over on backlogged.com at Ryan Turford, where I write little mini reviews about game. And if you ever wanted to know what I thought about Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers Advance 3 for Super Mario Brothers 3, you can go check that out over on backlogged.com. So, for Fulia, Matt, and Ron, I'm Ryan. This has been the PlayStation Drive episode 193. And we're out, folks. Good night, everybody.
Adios, friends.
See ya.
Bye, friends.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all kinds of exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description.